shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Business Buzz.
Business Buzz.
The Business Buzz, proudly sponsored by Teddy Clayton of Pan American Insurance, each and every Tuesday and Thursday on Radio Cayman. Call Teddy today at 917-4860.
And now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and in today's show, we find out more about the upcoming launch of the Cayman Islands Folk Singers and Northside Kitchen Band joint album release hosted by the Cayman Islands National Foundation. Visiting with me this morning in studio from of the National Cultural Foundation, I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Virginia Foster and Miss Zita Mae Bodden. Good morning, ladies, and it's a pleasure to have you on our show.
Good morning to you, too.
Wonderful to be here.
Exciting times, and oh my God, you guys are celebrities.
Thank you.
Launch of your new CD.
We're not household names yet until everybody in Cayman owns a copy of this
That's
CD.
right. Well, you know, they're going to have a full opportunity to do that in the upcoming days, and hence the reason I have you on our show this morning to get the word out there. And we plan to cover topics such as knowing a little bit more about the Cayman Islands National Foundation, how persons can get more involved with being a part of the Cayman Islands Folk Singers, and about this album release. So let's get straight into it. Now, the best of my knowledge, the National Cultural Foundation was founded in 1984, but share some additional information about the entire history and what you need people to know where this originated and how you all came together, and then it morphed into this folk singers. Give us a little history, please, about how this all came to fruition.
Well, as the education officer for CNCF, I've been involved with them from way back. I used to be on the board, and I was one of the founding members of the Folk Singers. So for those who are not familiar with the Cayman National Cultural Foundation, or CNCF, the mission statement is extremely important. Our mission is to stimulate, facilitate, and preserve cultural and artistic expression generally, and particularly the preservation and exploration of Caymanian performing, visual, and literary arts. So in 2009, when the Folk Singers were officially created by our artistic director, Henry Mutu, you can see how important the Folk Singers would be to the mission statement.
Correct.
We are Caymanian, and most of our selections are Caymanian music, folk music, although we do occasionally when we're in concert, we do feature folk songs from the region.
Correct. Now, why is music so important in any society today? And what role has traditional music played in the lives of Caymanians for all who come to live amongst us? Because you're listening to that mission statement, and it's very powerful. But you have brought a bunch of people together, and it's still Caymanian at the core.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from years gone by, we we're all told of all the kitchen dances and stuff that happened.
Correct.
With our elderly people, and I think that bringing it to life nowadays is really important because we're holding on to our history and our culture.
Correct. Now,
our oral history, because way back then, of course, the lyrics and the whole composition was just transmitted orally from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've done at the Cultural Foundation is to actually now have it recorded and elevated in a certain sense. We don't want to lose the folksiness of it, but we do want to express it in as beautiful a form as possible.
Correct.
So we've had rearrangements done. Stephanie Williams, who everybody in the Cayman Islands knows about, she has actually rearranged things a little bit. And the beauty of the folk song is not only that many of the folk singers are Caymanian by birth, but is that we have captured the spirit of the people that makes us unique. So that when we get on the stage and we're doing a folk song from Belize or a folk song from Jamaica, the Caymanian people, the Caymanian audience, they're waiting at the edge of their seats for their own, and their own holds up beautifully against anybody else's.
Correct. There you go. That's a sense of pride too, because you feel that coming off your audience.
Yes.
Now, give us some background on how it was decided to record this album.
We have been together since 2009, and people have come and people have gone. We are lucky enough to attract a lot of teachers who get to leave us sooner or later at the end of their contracts. So we're always recruiting new members, but we have a core group that has been there for years and years. As I said, I think we're only two of us from the original group in 2009. But then most of the people on the CD have been with us through thick and thin, good and bad, and very loyal, very dedicated, although we're an amateur group, they're very professional, and they don't complain when we're in the recording studio and we have to do another take and 2,000 takes later.
Well, that takes us through what you had to go through during the recording process. Must have been an adventure for you all.
It was because it's a difference going on stage and performing, and to a live audience, that are clapping and you can watch them smiling and everything, and then get into the studio and you're there with your mics and your headphones and you're listening to the music playing and then trying to, just get into
it. Was our first experience in a recording studio.
Trying to, get into the groove and keep it all together. So after a few weeks of going in there, we sort of started to get more used to the ambiance of being there. So
an average of how long did it take from start to finish to actually?
Forever,
done
forever. You'd have to ask Marcia Mutu about that. She's one of the folk singers. Anyhow, getting back to who decided to record, that was all Henry Mutu's vision. He is our visionary at the CNCF, our artistic director. And so he actually selects this. We have, at this point, we have a wide repertoire now of songs, but he's the one for each and every event. He decides what songs we're going to perform. And he also introduces us to new songs from the region because he's well-traveled, well-known in the Caribbean area. And then he decided we were of enough professionalism, I will say, musicality, to actually do a CD, which we never thought was going to come because he just wants the best of the best.
Now tell us, when will this launch take place? When and where?
Thursday, the 16th of August at 6 p.m. at the Grand Ole House.
And how can persons get tickets? What is in store, if you don't mind letting a little bit out of the bag?
Well, they can call us. I think the tickets should be ready sometime this week. We only have one phone number for the entire office, and that number is 949-5477. Or they can send us an email at info@artscayman.org. So the telephone number, let me repeat, 949-5477. And then there's the email address, which is info@artscayman, one word, .org. We do have a website, but it's under reconstruction, so it's not up to par yet.
Okay.
So I would suggest either the phone or the email, or come into the office.
Correct. Masita?
Yes, the tickets are available. They just came on yesterday, I think.
Oh, and yesterday was my day off, so I was hoping they were there today.
The email came out to all of us.
Excellent.
Yesterday.
So those tickets are CI $60 or US $75, and it includes, I think, a buffet.
It is. It is a full dinner, and it includes the CD.
Nice.
And, you know, it's the Cayman Islands folk singers, but it's a double CD because it also has the Northside Kitchen Band's music.
Well, that's a double treat.
Yes.
You can't lose. And I mean, what you're giving back for understanding where the CNCF is coming from, and then the release of this album, again, it's a win-win all around.
Yes. I mean, we're getting more popular with a lot of the big events that are happening.
Yeah,
you know, they're invited.
We can't keep up with the number of invites we get.
And
we're
to perform.
We're ambassadors for the Cayman Islands, so we really don't like to turn down an invitation.
Yes. We've, had, we've sang twice now at Heroes Day events. We sang for the launch of the Cayman coat of arms that took place on the 4th of June. And,
when we have
with the new plane,
the
new Cayman Airways plane as she landed, we sang for that. And, yes, lots of conferences that have taken place in the Cayman Islands with overseas dignitaries, and it's all come off good,
Excellent. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, as we put the spotlight in our first segment on the launch of Come Back Home, the Cayman Islands folk singers and the Northside Kitchen Band joint album release that takes place Thursday, August 16th at the Grand Ole House from 6 to 7:30 is the cocktail party. From 7:30 onwards is a buffet dinner. And yes, you just heard it from our ladies here, Miss Zita May Bodden and Miss Virginia Foster. That also includes a double CD. Cost of $60 or $75 US. Keep it locked to Radio Cayman for more when we come back.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Similar to Cayman Brac, the northern shores of Little Cayman equally offered protection from the prevailing winds, with locations such as Bloody Bay and Anchorage Bay offering a calm and sheltered stretch of water near the shore in which ships could ride at anchor. Fresh water was also available at 2 nearby locations, including the limestone cavity just inland from Bloody Bay, which was noted on early English Admiralty navigational charts. After archaeological digs, another well, located a few hundred yards near Jackson's Point, produced cultural debris including ceramic fragments, tobacco pipes, bottles, and buttons, suggesting that the well had been used for at least 200 years. The site would become locally known as the Pirates' Well due to the long-standing legend of the Battle of Bloody Bay, whereby the local pirates fought the Royal Navy.
Information from this historical vignette was sourced from The Maritime Heritage of the Cayman Islands by Roger C. Smith.
Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
Why rush around paying bills when you can pay most of your bills online? Cayman National offers an extensive list of service providers. Visit CaymanNational.com and log on to our personal or business online banking systems. Not an online banking customer? Contact their customer support team on 949-8300 for more information.
Hi, my name is Diane Manderson. My agent Teddy Clayton from Pan American Insurance was there for me from day one of my accident on October 2017, and up until now, I have been compensated for my pain and suffering. I would recommend Pan American Insurance. Contact agent Teddy Clayton on 917-4860.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, and keeping the spotlight this morning on our first segment, we highlight and let you know more about the upcoming launch of the Cayman Islands Folk Singers and Northside Kitchen Band release hosted by the Cayman Islands National Foundation, and that takes place on August 16th at Grand Ole House. Now, the sounds of the Caribbean are as varied as the islands themselves, from the tinkling of the steel pan drums that immediately puts you into a tropical frame of mind, to the pulsating sounds of reggae and calypso, to traditional sound of the old-time kitchen dance with a cowhide drum, the fiddle and the grater that surely bring back the sweet memories here in the Cayman Islands. I'm pleased to have join me in studio this morning from the CNCF, Miss Virginia Foster and Miss Cedar May Bodden, telling us more of what their adventure has been like, not only being a part of this momentous and this milestone of creating and the launch of their first album, but letting us know how important it is to who we are as a people here in the Cayman Islands. Now tell us a little bit more about the songs that will be on this double album entitled Come Back Home.
Okay, well, we have Gummy Yard. We've changed that up a bit, and, you know, we're all having fun with that song. And then Cardiel Gone to Cuba, Beef in Cane Peace. Mm-hmm. You Have to Wait Till My Ship Comes In, and Come Back Home.
And Muncie Boat.
Mm-hmm.
all the favorites.
That's right.
Plus some not so well known, but very beautiful.
Well, having that repetition always at your fingertips by being on this CD, definitely you will see more participation in your future performances.
And in performances by other groups
Correct.
In the Cayman Islands, especially students.
Right, right. Now, can you describe the cover of the album and who designed it?
Well, it's a very beautiful cover. We are indebted to Charles Long, our local artist. He made available one of his beautiful beachside, north side, I think it was, artworks. And that's the cover. It's really lovely. And should we talk a little bit about the Northside Kitchen Band? I don't want them to feel neglected.
Exactly. You're quite right. This is a collab here.
Okay, well, the Northside Kitchen Band was formed by Mr. Ned Miller in 2002. Mr. Ned fiddled and, he played the motor organ along with his brother Coburn. He played the guitar, and Mr. Rex on the drums, Mr. Burke on the guitar, Mr. Darwin on the guitar, Freddie on the guitar, and Mr. Harvey on the percussions. And they play traditional Cayman music, and they refer to themselves as the Northside Kitchen Band.
These were songs that weren't written down. They've just been passed down orally for many generations. And songs such as Under the Coconut Tree and Munsey's Boat again describe island life as it was many years ago. And you can't help but start tapping your feet when you hear that type of music.
You got to move.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And worse if you love dancing.
I know.
Now, what has been the most rewarding, fun aspect of recording this album?
I want to hear what Sita May is going to say.
It'll be interesting because I know your response.
Well, at the time we were on the directorship of Ken, and then with Benil with his new twist on music, and giving us all the things. I think just going into the studio and listening to the upbeats, and just trying to accommodate, all the musical expertise, because like I said, Benil is he has a degree in music, so I think it has been just a fun time trying to just mix our voices along with the new music and everything, and it's been a
That's
joy.
exactly what I would have said.
She's grazing it.
The most fun was in the recording studio.
Yes.
And that means with each other.
That's right.
With
That's
each
right.
other. We
Yeah.
really bonded together there because we were elbow to elbow in this little confined space with just a number of headphones and so on. So if you missed something, everybody else in the group knew it was your fault.
Okay. How many? Go ahead, Ms.
Yes, but Hopscotch Studios was very good. They allowed us to come in there whenever, in the evenings or in the mornings. So it was indeed a joy to, just be in the studio.
Now, do you see the purchasing of other CDs from other artists? Do you have a more sense of respect, knowing what work went through, how much retakes it took in order for the actual final product? Do you respect?
Definitely, because until you do something,
Correct.
a lot of times you don't realize
You don't
what goes
appreciate
into
The work.
the work that goes in to get those things doing, and for a final product. You don't really realize until you've done it yourself, and then you have a greater appreciation for the work of other people.
Correct.
And this is my opportunity to give a little plug in here for our other double CD that we have in stock. The first double CD that we've done was Radley Grazon and the Happy Boys, and the other side was Aunt Julia.
Correct.
So, of excellence. Henry Mutu, our artistic director, doesn't allow anything to go through his hands that isn't of prime excellence. So for those of you who are looking for authentic Caymanian music, come to us. We're on the second floor. Can I go ahead and
Sure.
Yes, we're on the second floor of the building immediately behind the Harquail Theatre. You'll see the signs that say CNCF office. So come right up there. We also have numerous books. We have our Foundation magazine, our Cayman Islands Journal. Excellent information for the public.
How important is it for CNCF to offer assistance to the artistic development of local artists in terms of training and support in the performing, visual, and literacy arts?
That is key. That is one of our outputs that we sell to the government. It's part of our mission statement. I'm the secretary for the grants committee, so I can tell you that we take our responsibility to the Caymanian artists of any genre. We're the overall umbrella for arts and culture in the Cayman Islands. So it's not just the performing arts. We have people asking for grants to publish their books or go off on workshops. The most expensive thing right now is to produce a film. And of course, we don't have unlimited funds. In fact, our budget for grants keeps getting whittled down. So those who apply are in competition with others who apply. And we always try to be fair. The grants committee meets twice a year, March and September, twice annually. And they spend hours and hours deliberating over who should get and how much they should get. So
there you go. But again, there's always additional information on your website, even though it's currently under construction. But reach out to the CNCF 949 5477 should you require additional information. Now, are you in need of any volunteers for any of your projects at CNCF, and how can persons go about volunteering?
Well, we are always in need of volunteers. We're a non-profit organization. We can't do anything without volunteers. So we have a standardized form that we ask volunteers to fill in. It might not be on the website at present because, as I mentioned, it's under reconstruction. But, just call us and we will give you the form. You can get it by email or hard copy if you come into the office. So please, we need you. I know we're almost ready to
correct. And
so I just wanted to mention something that I don't think we highlighted, that when they come to the lodge, the folk singers will be performing, and we also have a jazz band that will be performing. So at 6 to 7:30 is the cocktail party, and then 7:30 for those who have purchased a ticket. It's the buffet dinner, and Grand Ole House is famous for their culinary skills.
Of course.
And it's a traditional Caymanian type buffet. I know there's fish, there's beef, chicken, and all the sides. And it's going to be a fun night. Well worth $60.
And that includes
the copy of the
double CD.
One of the first people I asked whether they wanted a ticket was one of my friends, and she said, $60? Grand Ole House? I thought it would have been $160. Make sure I get my ticket.
Yes. And when they said to us that each of the members tried to sell 5 tickets, within an hour, I had five tickets sold. So if anybody, just contact the CNCF. Tickets are on sale. They are available now. And, just call and reserve yours, because I'm quite sure that the tickets are going to go fast. For $60, you're going to get entertainment. You're going to get a full dinner, appetizers.
You get a free cocktail drink.
And a double CD with the Cayman Islands Folk Singers and the Northside Kitchen Band.
Well, ladies, time does not permit, but again, it is a pleasure, and thank you for allowing us to put the spotlight and getting the word out there about your upcoming album release. It has been a pleasure.
I'm so pleased to finally see you, Sabrina. I've been listening to you for years.
Thank you so much, Ms. Virginia.
I put a face now with the name and a beautiful voice.
Thank you very much. Stay tuned for the Time Check, 8 a.m. news, and in our second segment, we'll be chatting with a representative of the Wellness Center. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Sabrina. And studio time now by Price Right is 8 a.m.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore. Access and information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A local officer uses his nose to hunt down a man suspected in a Palmdale home invasion. On Wednesday, Royal Cayman Islands police officers carried out a search in Northside where they were following up after an aggravated burglary on July 28th, where 2 men broke into a home and threatened its residents with a gun before taking off with cash. During the Wednesday morning operation, police spotted the man, who immediately fled from the police. A canine unit deployed to assist, and the police canine Baron, who's the newest addition to the canine unit, tracked the suspect, eventually circling and barking at a structure nearby. Police found the suspect inside. The 26-year-old Northside man has been arrested on suspicion of robbery and related offenses in relation to the Palmdale incident. He's in police custody as investigations continue. Inflation jumps 3.2% in the first quarter of the year. According to the new figures released by the Economics and Statistics Office, the Consumer Price Index for the first quarter of 2018 was higher by 3.2% when compared to the same quarter in 2017. The ESO says the inflation rate is traced to the price movement of several divisions led by transport, which rose by 7.5%, health by 5.5%, and food and non-alcoholic beverages by almost 5%. The transport price index was impacted in particular by increases in airfares and fuel prices. The report says the inflation rate for health services is mainly due to a significant rise in the average price of pharmaceutical products and for other medicinal products. The food prices index was impacted by a sharp price increase for fruits, vegetables, milk, cheese, and eggs, and the price of education rose as well. The ESO reports that the index rose by 4.1% as the average cost of pre-primary and primary education rose by 5.5%. And secondary education by 5%. More information from the Cayman Islands Consumer Price Index reports March 2018 can be downloaded at eso.ky. And a local breastfeeding support group is honored during this week's World Breastfeeding Week observance. More from Radio Cayman's Shonda Gallego.
The Health Services Authority, along with the Public Health Department, recently held a luncheon in honor of the Cayman Islands Breastfeeding Support Group for their collaboration and consistent efforts over the years in raising awareness of the importance and benefits of providing children with the best start of life. HSA dietitian Samoon Sheehan says the group makes itself readily available in every district to mothers who need guidance and support, whether through a breastfeeding lesson or the rental or purchase of breastfeeding equipment. During the luncheon, members of the group were presented with certificates of appreciation for their many years of support to the practice of breastfeeding. World Breastfeeding Week, under the theme Breastfeeding Foundation for Life, is a week celebrated globally to raise awareness of the benefits of breastfeeding and the importance of breastfeeding in protecting, promoting, and supporting the health of the children while protecting the planet. Shanda Gallego, Radio Cayman News.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC who will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with David Austin. Zimbabwe's Electoral Commission says it'll start to release the results of Monday's presidential election very soon and urged patience in the meantime. A senior official said there was no skullduggery involved, though opposition activists insist the presidential and parliamentary polls were rigged. The Roman Catholic Church has changed its position on the death penalty, declaring that it's wrong to use capital punishment in any circumstances. The Vatican said the death penalty was an attack on the inviolability and dignity of the person. Previously, it had said the death penalty was admissible in the most extreme circumstances. Turkey's currency has slid to a record low after Donald Trump imposed sanctions on two ministers in President Erdogan's government. The lira has gone below 5 to the dollar and stocks continued to fall on Thursday. The sanctions follow the trial of a U.S. pastor, Andrew Brunson, who's been accused of backing terrorism by Ankara. The White House believes he's a victim of unfair detention. Protests are reported to be continuing for a third day in Iran against rising prices, the collapsing currency, and water and electricity shortages. Videos posted online suggest the demonstrations are spreading to more cities, including Mashhad and Shiraz. Some of the protesters' chants and slogans are aimed directly at the religious elite who wield the biggest power in Iran. The Israeli military says it's killed 7 militants believed to be trying to infiltrate from Syria into the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. A military spokesman says the military carried out an airstrike against the militants that they believe to be linked to the Islamic State group. That's the latest BBC News.
Access to information. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
It's hard. Being a parent is demanding, not to mention trying to keep a roof over our heads and food on the table. I needed help, and the Ministry of Education was able to provide it for my child to attend preschool. From one parent to another, if you need the financial help, submit your application today to find out if you qualify for preschool funding assistance.
If you have a child who is 3 years old but not yet 4 by September the 1st, you may be eligible to receive funding. Application forms can be collected from the Government Administration Building, the Department of Education Services, all early childhood centers, and may be found on the Ministry of Education's website at www.education.gov.ky. If you need more information about this government assistance program, please do email ecap@gov.ky. That's ECAP@gov.ky, or call 244-5724.
It's a Jamaican thing as Flow celebrates Jamaica's independence at Foster's Food Fair, Airport Center on Saturday, August 4th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Come and experience all things Jamaican with food, entertainment, and great Flow deals and prizes. Save big on top-of-the-line Samsung Galaxy smartphones, mobile plan deals, and with a $10 top-up, you can spin and win Flow gear, free data and combo plans, movie tickets, and more. Celebrate Jamaica with Flow, August 4th at Foster's Food Fair. Visit discoverflow.ky for more. Terms and conditions apply.
In financial news, world shares slipped today, tracking losses overnight on Wall Street, where investors sold industrial stocks following reports that the Trump administration is considering a higher tax rate on Chinese imports. Keeping score, Germany's DAX fell 1% to 12,604, and the CAC 40 in France lost 0.3% to 5,483. Britain's FTSE 100 slid 0.6% to 7,604. The outlook for Wall Street was downbeat, with the Dow future contract down 0.3% to 25,208, and the S&P contract losing 0.3% to 2,802. In Asia's day, Japan's Nikkei 225 index sank 1% to 22,512, while the Shanghai Composite Index lost 2% to 2,768. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index dropped 2.2% to 27,714, and the Kospi in South Korea shed 1.6% to 2,270. In energy, benchmark U.S. crude lost 1 cent to $67.65 per barrel in electronic trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange. It dropped 2% to $67.66 per barrel in New York. Brent crude, used to price international oils, gained 9 cents to $72.48 per barrel in London. And in currencies, the dollar fell to 111.62 yen from 111.72. The euro slipped to 1.1624 from 1.1659.
The All Nations United Pentecostal Church presents Youth Week 2018, August 5th to 10th. All youth are invited to participate in the theme, New Heights, No Limits, with Minister Curtian Fraser out of Jamaica and Minister Shane Brown out of Florida. Youth Week starts off Sunday, August 5th, with day service at 10 a.m., followed by a motorcade at 3 p.m. Night services run from Sunday through Friday, August 10th at 7 p.m. The day session will be held on Wednesday, August 8th, from 9:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Youth Week, August 5th to 10th, at the All Nations United Pentecostal Church, 23A Woodlake Drive, Georgetown, Grand Cayman. Visit allnationscayman.org for more information. Your weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Brand Source Home Gallery has been appointed the exclusive Cayman supplier for Duravit bathroom products. Duravit is the leading international manufacturer of bathroom ceramics, tubs, and showers, recognized around the world for beautiful, functional products. Winner of top industry awards, Duravit collaborates with leading European designers to provide the most elegant and innovative bath products. If you're ready to bring style, comfort, and innovation to your bathroom, visit Brand Source Home Gallery to see the new Duravit showroom and meet the in-house bath designer. Whether you're planning a functional family bathroom or a personal spa retreat, browse the Duravit collection and be inspired. Brand Source Home Gallery, delivering a new standard in custom designed bathrooms. Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Good morning, and time now to take a look at the very latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees, relative humidity is 84%. Barometric pressure 29.98 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 5 knots. Overnight low temperature was 82 degrees. Synopsis indicate isolated showers will continue to linger across the northwest Caribbean for the next 24 hours as an upper level low pressure system lingers. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving west. The forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Tonight, pretty much the same, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of late night showers along with possible thunder. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast, 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide will occur this afternoon at 1:26 and a low tide again tonight at 7:16. The sun will set this evening at 6:59 and will rise tomorrow morning at 3 minutes after 6. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning.
Update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Have you just completed a weekend cleanup project? Do you plan to dispose of old appliances, electronics, or even hazardous waste? Dispose of these items at the 24-hour drop-off site located at the entrance of the Georgetown landfill. This site is open to the public daily for your convenience. Do your part. Keep Cayman clean. For more tips on proper waste handling, visit the DEH website at www.deh.gov.ky.
Good morning once again. Time now for your traffic check. On Shamrock Road, traffic is moderate as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway. A little more steadier traffic. And also coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, Huldah Avenue, steady but flowing traffic. Light to moderate traffic flow on Edward Street in front of the Georgetown Post Office. And on the West Bay Road, traffic moving along moderately in both directions. And a light to moderate traffic flow in and out of Georgetown on Shedden Road. And traffic flowing moderately as well on Godfrey Nixon Way. Light to moderate traffic flow on Eastern Avenue. Crew Road, busy traffic in some sections further east. And as you approach closer to Georgetown, traffic moving along steady. On North Sun Road, traffic is moderate, coming from the Butterfield roundabout heading towards Industrial Park area, and light to moderate traffic flow coming from Industrial Park area heading towards the Butterfield roundabout. That's what's happening in your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 as we update you on what's happening on your roads. Enjoy your morning and buckle up.
In local sports, several national football teams, men and women, are preparing for international competition soon. Apart from the under-15 girls national team heading off to the CONCACAF Championships in Florida on Friday, President of the Cayman Islands Football Association, Alfredo Whitaker, says other teams are preparing for stiff competition as well.
These are excited times for our Cayman Island Football Association and the football family in Cayman. We have the girls that are leaving to CONCACAF U15 tournament. We have the boys U14 that is getting ready to host 3 teams international tournaments also mid this month. We have the boys U20 that is getting ready also. They're traveling on the 23rd to Cuba for a week training camp, and then after that they will be traveling also to Florida to participate in the U20 World Cup qualifiers. We have the girls U20 national team that is getting ready. We have the senior men national team that is also getting ready for the first round of competition later on next month. So we have a full house. I would say that football is back and alive in the Cayman Islands, and these are really, really excited times, not only for FIFA, but I think for all of the Cayman football family.
Also, spots are up for grabs as the National Under-20 Women's Football Squad hosts a tryout series this Saturday at the CIFA Center of Excellence Field and Prospect from 4:30 until 6:30 p.m. In international sports and cricket news, Mohammad Shami took the last wicket to complete England's collapse from 216 for 3 to 287 all out against India on the second morning of the first test at Edgbaston today.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to the second segment of today's edition of the Business Buzz right here on Radio Cayman. I am your host, Sabrina Turner, and our show is proudly sponsored by Teddy Clayton of Pan American Insurance. Give Teddy a call today, 917-4860. In this segment, we are pleased to put the spotlight and speak with Ms. Sloan Parr-Strang, who's a certified behavioral analyst and a certified ESDM therapist, and we'll be talking more about applied behavioral analysis. I'm having a tongue twister here, and hearing more about what is being offered at the Wellness Center. Good morning, and it's a pleasure to have you on our show.
Good morning.
Can you share with us some details about the Wellness Center overall?
The Wellness Center is a licensed health facility. It was founded in 2004 by Shannon Seymour. And since its inception, there's been an ongoing commitment to provide the people of Cayman with evidence-based services. We have a qualified staff that help individuals provide with professionalism and confidentiality. We provide a wide range of comprehensive psychology, mental health, and behavioral services to children, adolescents, and adults.
Now, Ms. Parr-Strang is a board-certified behavioral analyst and certified ESDM therapist with over 15 years of clinical experience. She holds a master's degree in psychology and education as well as a master's degree in teaching as applied behavioral analysis from Columbia University Teachers College in New York, USA. Her background in education and expertise in autism and behavioral management, she manages the team of ABA and ESDM therapists to provide a variety of services to children, adolescents with autism and related developmental disorders. Now, give us some information. Let's talk more about the applied behavioral analysis and what that's all about.
Sure.
All these acronyms this morning.
There will be a lot of acronyms. The practice of ABA uses specific strategies to teach and promote lasting behavior change. As a science, it emerged in the 1960s when researchers and clinicians began studying how to positively impact the lives of individuals with a wide range of needs using the principles of learning. ABA uses specific strategies to teach these individuals new skills and address challenging behavior. The strategies have repeatedly been shown to create meaningful change in behavior with both children and adults. The children, the teens, the adults with developmental disabilities for the majority have been shown to be effective in treating challenging or disruptive and often dangerous behavior, as well as being effective to teach language, social skills, play skills, daily living skills, academic behavior, independence, and more.
So how can those interested register for ABA services?
So the Wellness Center provides a wide range of ABA services. We provide parent training, which is what I'm here to talk to you about. We provide direct one-to-one ABA therapy or ESDM therapy, depending on what's individualized and more appropriate for the individual. We provide school shadowing, school push-in. We provide homeschool support. I'm a Department of Education Services approved homeschool supervisor.
Okay.
So for those families with individuals that just don't fit in any of the current school options here, we can help craft an individualized ABA-based homeschool opportunity for children to better suit their needs. We are really excited because now we're starting to offer homeschooling together.
Okay.
So homeschool can sometimes be quite isolating, especially when you're also talking about an individual on the autism spectrum who doesn't have tendencies towards social interaction to begin with in most cases. So in that sense, offering a homeschooling together option whereby we bring the children together highlights their ability to continue to work on those social skills even in a homeschooling one-to-one environment.
So what can persons expect when working with an ABA therapist?
There are a lot of things that an ABA therapist does. An ABA therapist is a term that's often used for someone with my qualification as well as someone that provides the direct services, which is also called a behavior technician. So there's a lot of acronyms. I'm not going to throw them all out. But what you can often find is quality, scientifically driven, evidence-based therapy delivered in either one-to-one, clinic, home, school settings that are individualized to meet the needs of the child.
Okay. Who can benefit from this ABA training?
Autism is on the rise. It's now 1 in 59. So,
how are you able to identify that without going to a specialist? What are some of the telltale signs for those parents who may not even be aware?
Right. Well, it depends on how old the individual is. But if you're working with a pediatrician and you're doing your normal wellness checks, the pediatrician should be tracking development and guiding you and checking, is the child looking? Is the child meeting their developmental milestones? Are they responding to their name? Are they pointing? Are they engaging in pleasurable activities with other individuals? Do they notice when you come in and out of a room? Are they or are they not engaging in functional exploration of their environment, or are they engaging in repetitive, stereotypic, or restrictive behaviors of interest?
So the flick of the wrist, oh, my child is just an introvert, or he or she prefers to be by themselves, that could be a telltale.
It can be, but you have to understand that autism spectrum disorder, if that's what we're specifically talking about right now, is a big umbrella. And it has a wide range of severity. So on its own, being an introvert is not an issue.
Okay.
When an individual starts to evidence a triad of impairment around social interaction, communication, and when they start to display restrictive, repetitive, stereotypic behaviors of interest, all three of those start to impede learning. And it kicks an individual off the normal developmental trajectory. And the older an individual gets, the harder it is to kick them back onto the normal, quote-unquote, neurotypical developmental trajectory.
Right.
So in and of itself, being an introvert isn't an issue. And especially if it's not necessarily socially significant to a family, they're all introverts, it doesn't really matter, then it's not important or socially significant. So ABA is individualized. You don't come in and I don't give you a cookie cutter program. I give you a program that is based on what is socially significant. Because if you're not invested in the change that you want to see, or the individual, if they're more of an adult, is not invested in this change, then we don't have any work to do.
Which leads into this. Explain and highlight some of the benefits from ABA training.
Right. So ABA training or ABA therapy?
Training and therapy.
Okay.
You can do both.
Okay. So I'll talk about ABA therapy first, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about the roadmaps training and what we hope to gain or help empower parents as a result of delivering it. So ABA therapy, as I mentioned before, can help with decreasing maladaptive behaviors, typically that get in the way of learning. And it also can help with replacing those maladaptive behaviors with functional skills. So typically, maladaptive behaviors occur because there is a lack of functional replacement skills. So if a child is throwing blocks all over the place or swiping materials off a desk when asked to do something, there's a possibility, and individualized assessment will tell us why, but there is a possibility that they lack functional play skills to know how to play with the blocks, and they lack the communication to be able to tell you that something is too hard. Okay. So a functional behavior assessment, which is something that we are trained to do, can help identify the reasons why behavior occurs. So oftentimes, when the behaviors start to become challenging at home, that's one of the reasons we see people come in the door. So whether or not they think their child is on the spectrum or not is a different story.
Yes.
And sometimes that comes with an ongoing relationship. But most of the families that self-refer to us are encountering difficulty, or school is encountering difficulty. It's not getting better on its own, so they come and talk to me about how we can help.
And how can persons get in contact with the Wellness Center?
Well, we have...
Just throw you in there.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can visit the Wellness Center on the web, so www.wellnesscenter.ky, or you can email me directly at spharr@wellnesscenter.ky, or you can call us at 949-9355.
That's 949-9355. We'll take a short break. When we come back, where and when will the ABA training be held? And how can you evaluate a child's progress? And really, how often is that evaluated? Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more when we come back.
Think life insurance is only about leaving money for your family? Well, think again. Ask Teddy about products that will provide income in case of accidents or illness, here and now. Call Teddy on 917-4860. That's 917-4860.
Hi, this is your reigning queen, Miss Cayman Islands Universe 2017, Anika Connolly. Join me on Saturday, 11th of August at the Westin Resort and Spa to find out which one of the 7 beautiful contestants will take over my crown. I'm excited to announce that pageant tickets are now on sale at Sand Angels in Camana Bay and Funky Tangs in Georgetown.
Come out on August 11th at the Westin to support us for
the Miss Cayman Islands Universe pageant. There will be a cocktail reception at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 7 p.m. sharp. Lights, camera, glitz. We hope to see you there.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
We are Radio Cayman, and this is how we wake you up in the morning. Praise time on Radio Cayman.
Sing your praise to the Lord. Come on, everybody, stand up and sing one more. Hallelujah, give your praise to the Lord. We are united in Jesus Christ. We are the soldiers of the Lamb.
Praise time.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
There's a meeting up in heaven. Roll call. It's a name in the Lamb's book of life. Roll call, brother, sister. Roll call. If you don't stop shouting, if you don't stop dancing, we're going to put you out of our church.
Praise time.
Jesus in the morning, yeah.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Your song flows through my lips. Your work moves through my hands. Your thoughts stay on my mind. Live in me.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz that is proudly sponsored by Teddy Clayton of Pan American Insurance. Give Teddy a call, 917-4860 for more information in this segment. We hear about applied behavioral analysis. Our guest is Sloan Parr-Strang, and she is an APA program manager, board certified behavioral analyst, and a certified ESDM therapist from the Wellness Center, talking more about an upcoming program, and we'll be giving you more how you can register, place and time in which you can get additional information and attend what's coming. Now, Miss Sloan, you wanted to tell a little bit more in detail just before the break about the training, the ABA training.
So as providers, we tend to make ABA about the child. During therapy sessions, we decrease problem behaviors, we teach individual new skills. And this is all great, but the unfortunate fact is that parents and caregivers can very easily be left behind, whether it's because they're working full-time or their schedule doesn't permit them to participate in the sessions. And so basically, after picking up their child from therapy, parents might struggle with the same problems at home, and that's not fair. A simple progress report isn't going to tell you how to help your child. And so navigating your child's ABA services can feel really overwhelming. There's terminology, there's data, there's graphs, there's skills. They're all vital points along your child's journey, but this is also your journey.
Correct.
And the more that the parents know, the more effective therapy can be. And parents need to be empowered and feel confident in their ability to use ABA strategies and techniques at home, so that there's a consistent approach across the board. Now, this is reality. This isn't an experimental condition where it's possible to be 100% consistent all the time. But knowing and being better informed goes much further in
Correct.
terms of empowering parents and caregivers in their ability to see and impact lasting behavior change.
Now, it's amazing, and it's interesting to see the assistance parents give their child or children with this disorder, if it's correct. But what support is there for even them, the parents?
Yes,
because many a times it takes so much energy out of them to have that sense of normalcy, and it almost would appear as though they're overlooked when they could be so affected, but masking it quite well.
Absolutely. And basically, the parents can get left behind, and like I said before, it's not fair. And regardless of the efforts to involve them, life does get in the way. There's full work schedules. There's other children, and so, having been here 9 years, we've redesigned our efforts in order to better empower both our existing clients as well as families that might be on the wait list for services, or families, for example, that have a child in the early intervention program that could benefit from additional assistance, or families that feel that they're struggling at home and that behaviors are becoming challenging to manage and it's impacting the family dynamic. There's a lot of people that could benefit from this service, not just our direct clients, which is why talking to you is so important, to get the word out there that there is help. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. We've designed a training program that is accessible to parents. As a parent myself, I often struggle to find time to fit everything in the day.
Correct.
But what I've done is fit this in so that it's after work hours or it's a lunchtime, so that as many people as possible can access the support.
So tell us, when and where will the training take place, or how can you assist?
Right. So the training is going to take place in 3 modules. It will be ongoing. So if you can't join the first module, you can join the second module, etc. It starts September 3rd, and it runs on Monday evenings, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., or Wednesdays from 12 to 1. So hopefully one of those 2 times, one individual or more than one individual can attend. So we are asking families to reserve spaces with us, not one.
Yes.
So the cost is for family.
Which leads into that.
Yes.
What does it cost?
So insurance can cover in some cases with a valid referral for ABA. But for those families, and there are many of them out there that don't have insurance coverage, it is $40 per session. Now, there are 6 sessions per module. There's a discount for paying up front. In addition, you can have mom and dad attend for $40, mom, dad, and caregiver attend for $40. We want to empower everyone.
Okay.
So it's not limited, and we're doing our best to make it cost effective for everyone.
How can parents use the training to better understand ABA behavior, and what role can they play overall?
Sure. Well, the modules for the training are broken down into 3 different topics. One is, what is ABA? So in that module, parents will learn what we call the ABCs of behavior, how to talk about their child's behavior, how to write it, how to observe it and measure it. And the point of the first module is so that parents can become more confident in their ability to identify why their child's behavior occurs, how to set targets, how to collect basic data. ABA is all about data. How to understand their role in behavior, and how they can change their behavior to modify their child's behavior. The second module of 6 weeks training is around what we call manned training. So without the special terminology, it basically is going to empower the parents to learn how to encourage consistent requesting in safe and appropriate ways, and how to better understand how to replace behaviors that are related to children not being able to get their needs met, which is a big percentage of behavior. And then the last module is about what we call prompting, which is helping. So how do parents will get a better understanding of how to teach new skills, what the hierarchy of prompting is, so that they can use prompts to increase their child's independence and success.
Now, do you have a wait list for services this time at the Wellness Center?
Yes. We are actively recruiting. We've also just opened a facility in the BRAC
Congratulations on that.
you.
See, the BRAC, you're not forgotten.
In order to ensure that our services are accessible, we're bringing a therapist in specifically for Cayman BRAC. We currently go over there weekly, if not bi-weekly. So this training will be also available in the BRAC, so they don't have to, parents and families don't have to fly here. So yes, there is a wait list, but we're actively addressing that. And in the interim, this training is offered as a stopgap. We also offer what we call supportive outreach services, or it's focused treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And that involves us helping parents or school to specifically address any challenging or socially significant behaviors. We reduce those and help the caregivers or the stakeholders teach functional replacement skills in order to make things more manageable in lieu of 30 to 40 hours a week of therapy.
Now let's take it back to the Sister Islands. Where are you located over there in the BRAC?
Oh, my boss is going to get mad at me because I don't know the address.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. But it's easy to find, I'm quite sure.
It's very easy to find.
And the number for those even interested in the BRAC, is it the same, or if they want to call?
If they want to call to inquire, they can call us here. The pediatricians are aware that we do have a clinic in the BRAC. So it's right by the airport. That's about all I know right now.
Okay. No, that's fine. I'm quite sure those BRACers know exactly where you are.
Absolutely. And all of the social workers over there do know as well that we're over there. I apologize.
Now, for those persons who are on the wait list, do you provide any interim services for those waitlisted families?
So this is one of our attempts to help address the wait list. We can also offer ongoing monthly consultation.
Right.
So as a part of our supportive outreach services, parents can come in. We can do some basic parent training, some goal setting, and indirect support. But in general, for those on the wait list, we do offer, as I said, supportive outreach services.
Okay.
That involve an assessment of the behavior of concern or the skill deficit, and behavioral skills training, which is intensive training for the stakeholders involved in order to better empower them to manage behavior or teach skills.
Now, does ABA require monitoring and continuous evaluation?
Yes. So ABA is unique in that someone such as myself is required to provide ongoing monitoring. So for all of our behavior technicians or registered behavior technicians, the ones delivering direct one-to-one therapy, 30 to 40 hours a week, ideally, per child, they receive 5% supervision every 2 weeks. And in reality, it is a lot more than that because we employ our therapists full-time, so they have full-time access to me. So I drop in, I see them, we have group training, we have group meetings in order to ensure that there is fidelity and consistency across the board with therapeutic delivery. We provide continuing education opportunities for our therapists to ensure that they are continuing to be ahead of the trend in terms of their quality and professional development and personal development. And everything is data oriented, so I can go in and take data on what they are doing, and they're taking data so that I can evaluate it. And we're online, and we're moving to online data collection so that I can monitor it from anywhere at any time.
Which is key. Again, technology, the power of it. Stay tuned for more of the Business Buzz when we take our final break. Coming back, I want to find out what it's like as a program manager. What are some of the responsibilities that comes with that role, and even overseeing other therapists to make sure that the vision of what the Wellness Center is actually emulated by those who have joined and you've allowed to be a part of your team. So keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more after this short message.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Have you just completed a weekend cleanup project? Do you plan to dispose of old appliances, electronics, or even hazardous waste? Dispose of these items at the 24-hour drop-off site located at the entrance of the Georgetown landfill. This site is open to the public daily for your convenience. Do your part. Keep Cayman clean. For more tips on proper waste handling, visit the DEH website at www.deh.gov.ky.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz in her home stretch on this edition. And I'm pleased to be joined by Ms. Sloan Farr Strang telling us more of all the happenings at the Wellness Center. But, as program manager, what are some responsibilities that comes with that role as it relates to overseeing the therapist and ABA therapy training for other professionals?
Well, my role's changed over time. When I first arrived almost 9 years ago now, there was no ABA therapy access on island. So I was providing a lot of direct therapy in order to help facilitate the grassroots movement to get ABA on island.
Right.
So over time, I've moved out of doing a lot of one-to-one and moved more to trainee development and program development. Shannon, the director, and I are very committed to developing aspiring Caymanian therapists. We think that that is the most reliable way to have an ongoing access to therapy on island. Yes, there are work permits, and yes, there are people that are very talented, and we have brought some new therapists on board to help flesh out our team. But at the same time, empowering homegrown therapists is what we're looking to do. We, up until now, have had our entire team be Caymanian, from intern to registered behavior technician to our first registered behavior technician about to be the first Caymanian BCBA on island.
Excellent.
She is sitting her exam in November. So at this point, my role is really overseeing that training, ensuring that we are developing my current registered behavior technicians to continue to meet their goals professionally and personally, and program development, so continuing to offer additional services, so whether it's parent training or coaching or Football for All, which is a inclusive football program on a Saturday that is free, or continuing to develop services for the ministry, whether it's training RBTs in the school. So in this last year, we had 3 trainees throughout the entire year, and now the government has their first RBT.
Good for you. How can persons reach out or get additional information on ABA training?
It's best to just contact me directly. So you can email me at spharr@wellnesscenter.ky, or you can call 949-9355.
Any additional information you'd like to leave with our listening audience this morning? Repeat, recap, shout outs. Now's the time.
I think I just want to say that your child's therapeutic journey, especially as it pertains to having autism or a developmental disability or challenging behavior, it's a journey, and you don't need to navigate it alone.
Well, that's powerful. And for those who may be a little bit hesitant, and, I wouldn't even, I'm not sure if the word is embarrassed, but how do you come to grips with the reality that something is wrong and dispel that myth and just make the right step? What words of advice would you give to those?
It's not my opinion that something is wrong. It's just that your child potentially learns differently and sees the world differently. So we have to craft a team of support around them in order to make that easy.
Okay. We've been speaking with Miss Sloan Farr-Strang, who is ABA Program Manager, Board Certified Behavioral Analyst from the Wellness Center, and giving us more about all the services that are available. It has been a pleasure, and I thank you for allowing us to put the spotlight.
Thank you.
Now, for more information about the upcoming launch of the Come Back Home, Cayman Islands Folk Singers and the Northside Kitchen Band, as their joint album release that takes place August 16th at the Grand Ole House, starting from 6 until 7:30. That's pretty much their cocktail reception. 7:30 in the evening is a buffet. They were our first guests this morning. Those tickets went on sale yesterday. $60 CI, $75 US. That also includes a double CD. Gives you an opportunity to also be well entertained, well fed. And again, look at how far-reaching your dollar takes you. For additional information, give them a call at 949-5477. Until Tuesday, have a safe and fabulous Thursday. It has been a pleasure.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz. The Business Buzz, proudly sponsored by Teddy Clayton of Pan American Insurance, each and every Tuesday and Thursday on Radio Cayman. Call Teddy today at 917-4860.
The Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.